Sold.
Hi, it's Louise from LJ Hooker and of course Nathan.
Yes, how you going?
We are up to episode 10 of the NNL show already, August 2022. Here we go. Almost the year that we've been doing our NNL show.
It's coming around very quick.
Yes, you know what else is coming up? The Rewa Ball. We've got that on Saturday night.
Oh, it should be a good night.
It should be a good night. It's always a good night to see what's going on and who the big players are.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So you've been taking some time out of work this week, you know, getting your lashes done. I think it's hair tomorrow. What, you've already got your nails? So
Yeah.
anything else?
Thank you. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
Makeup
I just need a new pair of shoes. That's
Okay,
all.
well, we'll sort you out.
All right, good. Let's talk about the market. So last time we did the show, we had thought that things were quietening down.
Mm-hmm.
But surprisingly, the market's still holding very strong.
August has been very good.
So I think the low stock levels are playing a part. There's still not much to choose from. Rents are high, so we've still got that demand in the first home buyer market, and then that has a flow-on effect.
Which I think is so good for the first homeowners. You know, get out of renting, buy something now before the market goes crazy. Get in the market, isn't it?
Well, the cost of renting, you could basically still buy it, even though the interest rates have gone up.
Yeah, you can. And you know what, actually, I worked out with the interest rates, just even ourselves, obviously interest rates affects everybody, so obviously our mortgages change. I worked out that I spend almost $100 in takeaway coffee. Okay, calm down. $100 in takeaway coffee a week, around about between $70 and $100 in takeaway coffee in 1 week. That is ginormous. So if we just got rid of that, that would be basically the increase of our mortgages, right?
Crazy.
Out of control.
What else are you spending the money on?
Well, lucky, we're not going to talk about that, but also lucky we started our F45 challenge on Monday, so there is no more takeaway coffee.
True.
So in here is nothing.
Water?
No, I had an espresso actually.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, anyway, let's keep going.
Let's talk about the stats.
Yeah.
So I might kick things off with Thornlie.
Mm-hmm.
So last 12 months, we've seen an increase of nearly 8%, which is great. Median value is now 456. Days on market, still only 14 days.
So good.
Which is very good.
So Canning Vale, 8% increase in median value, 14 days on the market.
Yeah.
Another 14 days, 2 weeks, and it's all done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And of course, that's median. So
yeah.
Okay.
Gosnells up 10%. We're seeing a lot of investors from the eastern states buy into Gosnells because you've got big parcels of land there. You've got the zoning potential to develop. So it's gone up 10%. Days on market is 20, which is a bit more than some of the other suburbs, but still very, very good.
And Southern River, we have got a 9.2% increase in median value and 16 days on the market. So all round good. We can see on our graphs they're going back up again.
Yeah.
Which will pop up there, which is nice. Nice to see that.
So let's talk about a couple of listings.
Yep, so I've got Unit 1120 Gladstone Road in Armidale. Have had it for a few weeks, a few months actually, but it has been tenanted, but the tenant's moved out now. So it's vacant, it's all ready to go. It's a really great property. It's really well priced. It's in a very nice strata complex.
That one's going to sell now. You're on a bit of a hot streak.
I am on a hot streak. 4 properties under offer in August. So Gladstone Road is going to make it 5 for this month for sure. That's definitely going to go now. So
we've spoken about the strata properties taking a bit longer, but I feel like they're starting to sell quite well.
Yeah, I think that going back to the first homeowners, I think they're seeing that it's a good option to get into the market to perhaps go into a strata first, get a feel of how they go with the mortgage, and then you can always have that as an investment later on. So definitely seeing all of a sudden, much more inquiry. So so Gladstone will get up there and we're going to see that go on the weekend.
So just on another note, the media seems to be predicting the market's going to drop 10 to 20% in Perth. There's a lot of negativity out there, but I'm just not really seeing that on the ground.
Okay.
I think they're putting us in the same basket and category as Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane now, but
it's not the
we're a
case.
different world over here.
I think on the news they don't tend to include the Perth market a lot. It does tend to be the eastern states, which puts that fear into our market.
Especially when you're watching like Sunrise or
they're just not including Perth, Western Australia. Yeah. So basically what they need to do is get you on to talk about it.
You know what I say? You're probably the best person to talk on the news because you could talk underwater. That's what I was just saying.
All right, keep going.
Okay. I've got a beautiful property in Martin. It's 4.7 acres. Huge. Nice 4x2 home, massive open plan living area. It's pretty rare to get a property of this size and have a quality house on it as well.
Okay.
And the block is nice and flat, well maintained. It's even got a creek that runs down the back of the property. That's on the market for 1.6 million, and I'm sure it's going to sell.
The photos of that are beautiful, so you just need to... That's a private viewing only, that one, actually. So you just need to book that in with yourself.
Yeah. To have that much land that close to the city, you're only, 25, 30 minutes from the city, is very, very rare and an exciting opportunity for someone.
Well, that's good. Yes. Well, hopefully we'll see that go soon.
Yep. You want to talk about the new tenancy laws coming in?
So I find...
They're looking at bringing in Parliament.
Yeah, so they haven't been brought in yet, but they are certainly on the table being looked at. And a lot of people are talking about these. Certainly investors that have got investment properties are trying to decide what to do now. So a couple of things that are on the table is, one is that at the end of a lease, you can't just ask the tenant to leave for no reason. There has to be a reason why you need to terminate the tenancy, whether it's that you're selling your property, you're moving in yourself, or a family member's moving in.
So that's the only three.
Well, that's what they're looking at, yeah. So you have to give it a reason as to why the tenancy will be terminated, not just because the tenants are no good, let's say. The other one is small improvements. They're trying to allow tenants to make small improvements to their property, in particular if you've got young children or people with a disability. So in terms of just making some changes to make the home more comfortable for them, whether it be fixing a cupboard onto the wall or drawers onto the wall or handles, things like that. And another one is when advertising a property for lease, the no pets statement has to be removed. So those are just a couple of things that they're looking at changing. It hasn't come into play. It does have to go through Parliament. There's a lot of agencies that are pushing it and a lot that aren't. So we'll see what happens. Personally, I think there's such low tenancy, there's such low lease, properties for lease at the moment, properties for rent. And the tenancy is so high, people just need a rental, but there's none out there. So I think that if these rules start changing, it might mean that more investors get out and then there's even less houses.
Yeah, and less people buy, less investors buy, and then you've got even a bigger problem.
So there's a lot of things coming into play there. So we'll see how that goes. But at this point, obviously, when I try and encourage first homeowners, buy your first home. Get out of renting for sure.
It's just if you're considering selling a property that's got a tenant in it, so if they're on a fixed lease, you've got to give them the 30 days notice that the lease won't be renewed. If it's on the market and you get an offer and it comes unconditional, you can give the tenant 30 days notice to vacate.
Okay.
If it's not on the market and it's periodic, you've got to give them 60 days notice.
That's current. So that's the current law.
Yeah. So if you're selling a property with a tenant in it, you do need an experienced agent that knows the required notice that needs to be given, because it can end up very, very messy if you can't give vacant possession to the buyer, if that's what they want. All of a sudden the house settles and they've got a tenant still there. So you need to be very, very accurate.
And communication is very important. You're communicating with the tenant, you're communicating with the property manager, have an open conversation, make sure everybody's on the same path, and nobody ends up homeless.
No, that's the worst case scenario.
Awful. So we need to make sure that doesn't happen.
So I've had experience in the past where it's been a first home buyer wanting to move into the property. It was another agent's property, and then the seller didn't give the tenant the notice, so all of a sudden the guy couldn't move in.
Awful.
it was a bit of a rough one.
Yeah.
So if you are a first home buyer and you're trying to purchase a house with a tenant in it, but they've still got a fair bit of time on their lease, you can still purchase the property. You will become a landlord for a short period. You'll collect the rent. And as long as you move into the property within a 6-month period, within the first 12 months, you can still qualify for the first home buyer's grant. Yes. And not have to pay stamp duty up to $430,000.
That's right, yeah. So you have to live in the property for 6 months within the first 12 months.
Yes.
So it can all be worked around.
It can be done.
Yeah, again, you just need somebody that knows what they're talking about to write the contract correctly, have the open lines of communication, everybody's on the same page, and we get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about, or you got more properties to sell now?
Well, I do, yes.
You do?
Of course. So do you. You're very busy also. We've got a big weekend of home opens again.
So we've got a couple of promotions, actually.
Actually, yes, we do. Yeah.
So the appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about that one?
You can tell us all about it.
So LJ Hooker have introduced a spring campaign. All you need to do is have an appraisal, and you're going to the draw to win a $5,000 renovation voucher.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be 7 winners across Australia.
Yeah.
And that's, $5,000 towards a renovation, which is fantastic.
A really, really good promotion.
Yeah.
And the other one is our Qantas points.
So within our office, normally LJ Hooker will give you 20,000 points for selling the property if you list and sell with LJ Hooker.
Yeah, if that's the promotion at the time, yeah.
No, it's always on.
Always on.
It's always on.
Great.
We're upping that to 60,000 Qantas points.
Huge.
People are starting to
travel
around.
Mm-hmm.
So, John in the office, the principal, thought it'd be a great opportunity to offer people the 60,000 points if you list and sell with
our office.
Thornlie,
yeah.
And us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's great. Why wouldn't you want to?
Exactly. Where would you go? Where would you go?
I think we need to go to Melbourne to see your brothers and their family.
Fair enough.
I really think that we need to do that. With COVID, we haven't seen.
Yeah. That means we have to sell our house to get the 60,000 points.
Oh, that's true. So we're not quite ready for that. Okay.
All right. Have a good day.
All right. See you next time.